Hey guys, this is Abhishek from Technics Media, and today we are going to do an extensive benchmarking of Micromax A116 Canvas HT. We have the device with us and we have installed a couple of benchmark utilities, and we are going to test the overall sensors, everything on this device with these utilities. And so let's start. The first utility which we have is the boot benchmark, which will test how much time does this device actually takes to boot up. And we actually ran this utility previously as well, and the last boot up time was 30 seconds. So 30 seconds is not a very big time, but still it is a considerable amount of time which this device actually takes to boot up. Now let's run the quadrant standard benchmark utility and see what all sensors does this phone actually has. So if we take a look over the sensors over here, it has all these three sensors: the 3-axis accelerometer sensor, the proximity sensor, and the light sensor. There is no other sensor apart from these three. It doesn't have a magnetometer sensor or magnetic field sensor, as you can think of. We actually installed this application called Compass as well. So the Compass application does not work on this device, because that is why there might be some problem with the GPS, but the GPS will work if you use the assisted GPS settings basically on this device, and we have done a video on that. You can click the annotation right now to see that video. If we talk about the sensitivity of the touchscreen, this is a screen test touch test utility, and if I test this utility, the responsiveness of the touchscreen, whether it actually records the touch on every part of the screen basically, if you can notice right now. So this application allows you to check whether is there any point on the screen where the phone does not record your touch. So as far as the test which we are conducting right now, there is no problem with the touch screen. It almost records the touch on almost on any part. As you can see, there is no issue at all. Now if we talk about the multi-touch, this device supports 5 touch points, not more than that. And let me just show you: 1 2 3 4 5. And if I go and touch the screen with other fingers, it does record only 5 touch points. Now here we have the Entity Tester utility, and we are going to test the LCD and the multi-touch again with this utility. First of all, the LCD test. So the LCD is completely okay. I do not notice any kind of dead pixels on the device, on the display during. As far as the multi-touch with the Entity Tester is concerned, let me just show you the touchscreen response: 1 2 3 4 5. So it only records 5 point touch. We installed this billion counter benchmark utility, and it actually makes the device count to 1 billion, and the amount of time which this device actually takes is 46.512 seconds to actually count to 1 billion. And this time is actually a benchmark for the CPU for this device. Just ran the stability benchmark test with the Entity benchmark utility, and this is how the graph looks like. We do see a good amount of curves basically in this graph, as you can see over here. And as per the application, smaller the curve changes, the better is the stability. So this is how the overall changes you see in the curve, which are there are many changes in the curve basically. Smaller are these changes, and more stable the device is actually when it comes to running multiple applications. Now when it comes to the Entity benchmark scores, we have got a 12,107 score on this device, which is again quite good, an impressive score. And if we take a look over the detailed score, this is how the detailed score look like. The RAM and CPU has actually scored quite good in this particular test. And if we show you the specifications of the device, the sensors and other information, the system info basically. So the phone model is Micromax A116, and the CPU is quad-core ARM V7 architecture CPU, and it is clocked at 1.2 GHz, as you can see. And then we have the resolution 720x1280. It actually allows you to test how much you move your finger until the touchscreen detects your movement. So I have to move around minimum of 2 pixels before the touch screen actually sense my movement, which is again pretty good, as you can see. So this is the overall movement which I need to make, and this is the overall sensitivity of the screen with my finger movement on this device. And this is actually a complete representation of how well the gaming will be on this device when it comes to touchscreen gaming, as well as scrolling when you browse a web page. So as far as this particular ratio is concerned, it looks pretty nice, and the touchscreen seems to be pretty responsive to finger touch. We also ran the Vellamo benchmark utility, and this is the score which we have got. The score is 440, and this is the rating of the device as per their records, and this device comes just below Samsung Galaxy S3 as far as the score is concerned.